I'm a guy that's 24. Each day I build some more. I like the sequels. I'm Rich Boy J. Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back with another video, and this is going to be episode 17 of the Starkiller base mock build series. And you can see behind me, this mock is looking pretty good. But before I get into that, I want to give a very special thanks to those of you who donated via the live stream. So shout out to Bricktorian Gaurd, Chris Blank Productions, Owen Tomlinson, Brian Riff, Matthew T, Angel of Herb, Acrylio Coco, and Daniel Sides. You guys are awesome for doing so. And like I say every single week, if you guys are not tuning into the live streams, I certainly urge you to do so. It is a great way to not only see the mock early, but to also just hang around, talk Star Wars, look at me be very stressed out while trying to apply that big sticker to the mock. But I'm trying something a little bit new this week. So in the progress, it's not just going to be one long cut of me going over the mock. I'm actually going to take you through kind of step by step throughout the couple of weeks I've been working on this mock, just to show you the progress that I've made on it. And hopefully this new format is maybe a little bit more engaging, as you can kind of see the mock progress as opposed to me trying to remember everything new I did and then just pointing it out along the way. So definitely let me know what you think about this new format for these updates, and we'll see how that goes moving forward. So without further ado, let's jump right into the mock, guys. Starting off this week, I really want to work on this wall. This wall right here is pretty important, and it's gonna actually be a very tall wall. This little colored area actually give you a good idea of how tall it needs to be. I purposely left that section like that, one, so I wouldn't be using unnecessary dark gray bricks because it'll end up getting covered up mostly, and two, it's a good indicator as to where I need to build the wall up to. So the general idea is the wall is going to kind of come up along here, and then there will be slopes that kind of bring it along that edge. It'll go up again, and then it'll basically just kind of sit right under there, then come up the side once more, and then finally up all the way. And basically on top of this wall is going to be a bunch of like mountains that kind of end up flowing backwards into the kind of the back area of this mock, which is where the actual base is going to be. But a crucial part of this is getting this wall built up. So let's go ahead and dive into the wall, and then I'll check back with you guys later. Well, that took a long time. Anyways, finally got this giant wall constructed. You can see it is about half the height of the middle building. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it's pretty bare bones in terms of design thus far. I've left this section open. There's going to be basically just a bunch of greebling that kind of goes through there. So I think that'll actually look really nice, and even got the top of it plated off. Had to use a lot of bricks on the inside of there. Look at that. Look at all this filler. Oh my God, so much filler. But basically had to do all that because this is where the mountains are going to be. And looking at it now, I'm actually a little bit, I guess, less not looking forward to it. I'm less apprehensive about putting in those mountains, realizing for one just how big this wall is, which means less mountains will need to be built to go up and meet the top of the building, which is nice. I don't want to do too much mountain work. Mountain work is not fun, but I think it's looking pretty good. One other thing I also did is I actually went ahead and left the little slot open for an interior. As of now, I really have no idea what might go in this room, but I have the option to include whatever I want in this room, so I'm definitely looking forward to finally doing some sort of room in this mock. I'm not honestly sure whenever I'll get around to that, but now I have the ability to do so. So that'll be a pretty cool addition to it, give me a little bit more space to work with outside of the space I'm already allotting to the base that's going to be behind this. So for now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a break away from that side. I'm going to move to the other side. I'm going to go ahead, and what I want to do is actually just finish up this section on there and then get that wall started, and we'll see how much progress we can make. So I'll check back in with you guys. All right, guys, we have the second side of the wall here. Man, this took so long to do. Like, oh my God, it took so much longer than I would have expected. I mean, it's not a super complicated build, right? Like, it's just stacking a lot of bricks, but it's just such a large chunk. You can see even from the side, it's just such a massive part of the mock. I had to construct these plates up here that the rock work is going to sit on top of. Then of course, if you look through here, you can see the tons of filler brick that I had to stack up. It's a lot of bricks. I mean, I literally thought I would be so well off when it came to filler brick for this MOC, and we're only halfway through it, and it's not looking too hot. Like, I am dangerously low on filler. In terms of sorted 2x4 filler bricks, this is all I got left. That ain't good. I still have a lot more of that to use, so probably gonna start getting a lot more pick-a-brick cups of some 2x4s, because I'm definitely going to need them as we move forward in this MOC. But I'm happy to have the second wall done. This is actually a really big deal because now the rock work can commence, and I really think that if you kind of get a pulled back view of it, it just gives you a better understanding of what this MOC is going to look like. Like, the structure, the buildings are finally done, I guess. I mean, there's still little details I need to add in, like there's some greebling and such I need to put on the walls, like right in the middle or at the top of it, and at the top on that side as well. But for the most part, get a pretty good idea of just how everything's really shaping up pretty well. Like I always say when looking at this thing at this point, the scale of this thing is ridiculous. The MOC is just huge, but it's coming out pretty well. Now, one thing I'm sure a lot of people are going to take notice to is those large cracks, or gaps rather, between those two like areas, and it's happening as well on the other side to a lesser extent, and that's really just because this middle piece of the MOC is so heavy. It's just making the table dip like a lot, which is going to kind of mess with the alignment of a lot of the base plates on either side of it. So it is becoming especially important for me at this point to figure out some sort of system for, I don't know, probably getting some giant wood boards and putting those under this MOC, because, I mean, once I start building the mountains up especially, like, there's no way this is going to work. There's just, the gaps going to get even larger, and I mean, especially when I display it for the final showcase of the MOC, I don't want to have these ugly gaps in there, so that's something I'm going to have to resolve. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, because, like, I don't really have a vehicle that can transport large wooden boards. Like, I drive a Mustang, and that's clearly not going to be able to accommodate some large wooden boards. So that's something we'll have to put a little bit of thought into, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. And not something I'm going to worry a ton about right now, but it is definitely going to be an issue as we move forward. Like, I'm pretty confident I can build up the rock work, and in the meantime, if I'm just not able to get the boards soon, there'll just have to be those gaps right there. But for at least for the final showcase, I'm going to have some sort of board under this thing to ensure that it does not have those ugly gaps between the walls. But other than that, I'm very happy with the progress. You also notice that the large red banners are missing. Where the heck are those? You're actually about to find out what's happening with those red banners right now. And yes, it is finally here. We finally have the first order logo on those 3 large banners. This is such a monumental point for this MOC, I feel. Having that logo on the banners adds so much to the MOC. It is very clearly, very distinctly Starkiller based now. I can't even explain to you guys how just overjoyed I am at the fact that this is finally here. So I gotta give a big shout out to OK Brickworks. That is his name, OK Brickworks. You can find him on Instagram. He's the one who made this for me, and it is essentially just a big giant sticker that sits on those tiles for the banner, and it's perfect. Literally could not have asked for a better implementation of this in this MOC, and I love it. A lot of people have asked why not brick build the logo. I understand that would be the purest way to go. I just felt like having it as a sticker, one, is still pretty in line with Lego, because Lego uses stickers, right? Like, this isn't unprecedented by any means, but also just the smoothness and consistency you get with using a sticker looks far better than I could by trying to implement Lego pieces to incorporate this. I mean, it's a hexagon, which is already a difficult shape to do, and then there's a circle, another difficult shape to do, and then the circle has triangle points on the inside of it, which is also a difficult thing to do, triangles at many angles. There's just no way I would have been able to get this thing to look nearly as good with bricks. So I hope you guys understand why I opted to use a sticker for this rather than real bricks. And I feel like it makes all the difference in the world. This thing is so freaking awesome. I love it. I love it so much. So if you guys want to get a closer look at it, a lot of you probably saw this in the live stream that I did earlier this week. But essentially, in order to apply this, you'll notice that the banner is split in 3 sections, which meant that the sticker that I got, which came as one big sticker, I had to first apply it and then cut out the sections that would be the gaps between the stickers, and that's kind of how I was able to work this out and get it to be consistent across the 3 banners. So all in all, I am so stoked for this. This MOC is just looking so incredible, especially having those 2 walls on either side of it makes a big difference for me. And like I said, this is just looking so distinctly like Starkiller base at this point. One of the other things I wanted to mention is we got a 6th TIE Fighter now. I honestly don't remember which of these is the 6th one. I'm assuming it's probably one sitting over there. But for all intents and purposes on this base, the TIE Fighters are done. TIE Fighters for this side of the MOC are done. I have built so many of them, and you can see it. There are 6 TIE Fighters on this base. And that's it for TIE Fighters now. We can move on past TIE Fighters until we really get to the far other opposite side of the MOC, which is nice. I enjoyed building them, but I feel I've just built so many of them that it's kind of nice to not have to worry about that for a little while. One of the things I am going to have to worry about, however, is another one of those transporters. That's probably something I'm not going to worry about until after we finish the mountains. It's a big project. It's like a few $100s for me to build one of those. So rather than spending that money on that right now, I'd rather focus on other things like getting some of that rock work in the mountains done on either side of the base, because I mean, the walls are cool there, but having that rock work will make an even bigger difference for this MOC. So that's actually going to be a pretty crucial part of it. But let me actually take a step back so you guys can get an even more holistic view of this MOC. So you can see, this is it, guys. This is Starkiller base. We got a bunch of TIE Fighters now. We got the logo on the 3 banners. And we are soon to have some rock work on either side of that big building, which is just the coolest thing to me. Like, I'm so freaking happy with this MOC right now. You could only see the look on my face. But that's actually going to bring this video to a close. We got, I feel, a ton of work done since the last update. Lots of TIE Fighters now. Those 2 walls, which took a lot longer than I expected. And of course, the big building in the middle, we got the details on either side of that finally done. So the building is looking mostly complete, and just got to do that rock work, that pesky rock work. And of course, the 2 turrets that'll be on either side of this building, which is kind of where the porgs are now. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and go to the end of the video, guys. And that's going to finish up this week's update. I hope you enjoyed it. The progress on this thing is just unbelievable to me. That sticker, I feel, makes a world of a difference, and it just ties the MOC together so well. I'm so happy that it's finally there, and I actually have some stickers on the way to put on these small banners right here, so you guys will probably get a look at that in the next update. Moving forward, I kind of addressed this on the live stream, and I'll bring it to the forefront here. I was initially torn as to whether or not I should dive right into the rock work or start designing the turrets, and a lot of you said do the rock work, and while I totally agree with that, one of the things I realized is I'm probably going to have to place an order for a lot of smaller slopes just to make sure I have what I need when doing the rock work. I don't want to be making compromises right from the get-go, so that might put a slight delay on the rock work, which means that the turret is really the thing I should be working on right now. So in this next update, I can almost guarantee you will have some sort of look at the turret design, and hopefully I might even finish designing it. That'll definitely be one of those like LDD first, build second projects, just because of how massive the thing is going to be. But I'm pretty excited to take a crack at it. It's really unlike anything else I built in Lego, and it shall definitely be a cool thing once we actually get it built on the MOC. But that's all I have to show for you guys this week. Let me know in the comment section, like I said, what you think about the format for this week's update. And like I'll also say, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.